you're chilling at home, and suddenly your dog starts acting weird around you. He sniffs you insistently, gets restless, watches you like he knows something. What if I told you that he might actually be sensing something that neither you nor any test has detected yet? It might sound like something out of a movie, but science has already confirmed it. A dog's sense of smell is so precise that they can identify invisible signs of serious diseases, like cancer and diabetes, just by scent. But how does this work exactly? What diseases can they sniff out? And can any dog do this, or only trained ones? In this video, you'll discover just how far this incredible canine sixth sense goes, what the latest studies say about it, and how it can literally save lives. After seeing what these animals are capable of sensing, it's quite possible you'll never look at your dog the same way again. The superpower of dogs' sense of smell. Have you ever stopped to think about how the world of dogs is completely different from ours? While we primarily rely on vision to interpret our environment, dogs live in a universe of smells. Their nose isn't just a tool for sniffing out food or finding a hidden toy. It's a true detection machine, capable of picking up scents on a scale we can't even imagine. To give you an idea, dogs have about 300 million olfactory receptors, while humans have only 5 to 6 million. Additionally, the region of the brain responsible for processing smells in dogs is about 40 times larger than ours. This means that while we can smell a barbecue being prepared, a dog can distinguish each ingredient separately, from the raw meat to the seasoning. But the most impressive thing is their sensitivity to odors in tiny concentrations. To compare, if we could dilute a single drop of perfume in an Olympic-sized pool, a dog would still be able to detect it. This makes them excellent at finding things that would be completely imperceptible to us, like hidden diseases inside the human body. And this is exactly what scientists are studying. How do dogs detect diseases? If you've ever seen your dog sniffing you insistently at certain times, it might be that he's sensing something you haven't noticed. But how does this work? The human body is constantly releasing chemical compounds in sweat, breath, and even urine. When something changes in our health, these compounds also change, often before we show visible symptoms. Dogs, with their incredibly sensitive sense of smell, can pick up on these changes and notice that something is different. Studies show that some types of diseases cause changes in these body odors. In some cases, trained dogs can distinguish a healthy person from a sick one just by the smell of their breath or skin. This happens because diseases release volatile organic compounds, which dogs can detect even in minimal concentrations. Additionally, many dogs develop such a strong connection with their owners that they begin to instinctively react to these changes. But can any dog do this? And what diseases have they been proven to detect? Diseases dogs have proven capable of identifying. Studies show that dogs can sniff out different types of cancer, such as lung, breast, prostate, and skin cancer. They detect volatile organic compounds released by cancer cells in the breath, sweat, or even urine of patients. In some cases, trained dogs have achieved accuracy rates of over 90%. Diabetic assistance dogs are trained to detect dangerous drops or spikes in blood sugar levels. They sense changes in body odor and can alert their owner before a hypoglycemic or hyperglycemic crisis occurs. Many diabetics report that their dogs wake them up during the night before symptoms appear. Some dogs can identify chemical signals that the body releases before a seizure. They react by becoming restless, barking, or even pushing a person to a safe place before the crisis. Although scientists are still studying exactly how this happens, many owners claim their dogs save their lives daily. Infectious diseases, such as malaria and bacterial infections, also release specific odors that dogs can perceive. Additionally, studies suggest that they can detect neurodegenerative diseases, such as Parkinson's and Alzheimer's, before symptoms become evident. During the COVID-19 pandemic, researchers tested dogs to detect the coronavirus, and the results were impressive. In some studies, dogs identified infected people with over 90% accuracy, even without symptoms. These examples show that dogs are not only our best friends, but also incredible allies in the early detection of diseases. Do dogs need to be trained for this? Can any dog detect diseases, or only those that undergo specific training? The answer is, it depends. Some dogs instinctively notice changes in their owner's scent, while others need to be trained to reliably recognize and alert about diseases. Many owners report that their dog started acting strangely before a diagnosis, such as insisting on sniffing or licking a specific part of the body that later turned out to be a tumor, or showing restlessness before epileptic seizures or drops in glucose levels. This happens because dogs develop a very strong bond with their owners and notice any changes in scent or behavior. On the other hand, there are dogs specifically trained to detect diseases. The training process begins with scent association, where the dog is exposed to the characteristic smell of a disease and rewarded for recognizing it. Then, they learn to alert their owner when they detect that smell, whether by barking, touching with a paw, or adopting a specific behavior. Finally, they undergo tests and refinements to ensure they can identify the disease in different contexts. These service dogs are used to help people with diabetes, epilepsy, and even in the early detection of cancer. But even without training, many domestic dogs already demonstrate this surprising ability. Impressive real cases. Over the years, various stories and scientific studies have shown that dogs can really perceive changes in human health before a medical diagnosis. Many of these stories are so impressive that they seem unbelievable. One of the most well-known cases is that of Maureen Burns, a British woman whose dog, Max, started acting strangely around her. He became restless, stared at her intently, and avoided getting close to her chest. Concerned about the dog's behavior, Maureen decided to get tested and discovered she had a tumor in her breast, something Max seemed to have noticed long before the doctors. Another famous case happened with a man named Nathan, who suffered from diabetes. His dog started waking him up in the middle of the night, licking his face and barking for no apparent reason. When measuring his glucose, Nathan realized his levels were dangerously low. If the dog hadn't alerted him in time, he could have gone into a coma. There are also reports of dogs predicting epileptic seizures minutes before they happen, allowing their owners to prepare and avoid falls or injuries. In many hospitals and research centers, trained dogs have already helped detect diseases like cancer and even COVID-19 in asymptomatic patients, just by smell. These cases show that dogs not only sense when something is wrong, but also try to alert their owners. But how do you know if your dog is trying to tell you something important? Could your dog do this? If dogs are capable of detecting diseases, could your dog also sense something wrong with your health? The answer might lie in their behavior. Many owners report that their dogs start acting differently when something is off, even if the person hasn't noticed any symptoms yet. If your dog is insistently sniffing a specific part of your body, it could be a sign that they are picking up an unusual odor. Some dogs lick or repeatedly touch an area that, in some cases, turned out to be a tumor. Additionally, if your dog is more attentive to you than usual, follows you around the house persistently, or seems worried for no apparent reason, they might be sensing some chemical change in your body. Another common behavior is when the dog acts protectively without explanation. Dogs that detect glucose drops in diabetics, for example, often become restless and try to alert their owner before a crisis occurs. The same can happen with dogs that sense changes before an epileptic seizure, staying by their owner's side or trying to get their attention. If your dog shows this type of behavior, it's worth paying attention and, if necessary, getting a medical checkup. After all, your best friend might be trying to give you an important warning. As we've seen, dogs have extraordinary abilities that go far beyond keeping us company or fetching a ball at the park. As science advances, the idea of using dogs as allies in medicine becomes increasingly plausible. Who knows, in the future, they might become a fundamental part of early disease diagnosis, helping doctors and patients detect health problems before they become serious. Now we want to hear from you. Have you noticed any strange behavior in your dog that could indicate they were trying to alert you to something? Tell us in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more content about the amazing world of pets. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.